Hello, guys. Emmanuel here. I'm so happy to be here. This is the Seeking Truth channel, and here on this channel, we talk about everything religion. We do reactions about religious debates, trying to bring out the truth that is embedded in every religion there is that they talk about here on this channel. And so, here today, we are going to be bringing you a video by our brother Sam Shamoun and a Muslim brother who talk about things concerning the Quran is going to blow your mind. This I believe, because what exactly is spoken about in this video, I tell you, is something that moves my heart. Because I just see some of these things anew as Sam Shamoun tries to pull some of these contradictions there are in the Quran. And I'll also be happy to see if there is any Muslim brother that can come out and say, okay, fine, there are contradictions in the Bible. Now, what do you say about these contradictions? However, today we are focusing not on that, but on what is actually going on right now with Brother Sam Shamoun and another Muslim brother. So please stay tuned, listen to this, and I believe that it's going to bless you. And as we go into this video, please do not forget to do these three things: like this video, share, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to drop your comments in the comment section below so as to contribute your own quota and be a part of this conversation. Having said that, let's go into this video.
Glory be to him. Who's speaking?
Allah.
So Allah is speaking to himself and glorifying himself.
Yeah.
Oh, you're okay with it. So you're okay with Allah saying, glory be to him, instead of saying, glory be to me, who carried my servant by night. So Allah has to speak of himself in the third person?
Yeah, that's how Allah refers to himself.
Okay, well, good. I'm glad you said Allah. But then Allah goes on to say, so that we might show him some of our signs. So Allah is saying, glory be to him, which is me, who carried his servant by night, which is my servant, from the inviolable mosque to the farthest mosque, whose precincts we blessed, so we might show him.
I'll admit, this verse doesn't explain the locations.
All right, so I think we should know what exactly is happening here. Sam and the brother are going back and forth about a Quranic verse that the brother mentioned or that Sam quoted. So Sam quoted the Quranic verse, and it's Allah spoke to someone. So he's speaking to someone, and he speaks to that person in the third person pronoun, not indicating that he was speaking to himself. Because as it is, if you are speaking to yourself as a person, it will be known even in what you say, because somebody will just know, oh no, this person must be speaking to himself. But now here it's not the case. It's not the case here. Allah was speaking to someone other than himself. Now that's the problem. So Sam puts the question before this brother: who exactly is this person? Remember, the question here is the brother asked Sam Shamoun to bring out contradictions, to pull out any contradictions he can see in the Quran before him. What are the contradictions? Because I believe that brother's opinion was that there is no Quranic contradiction. There is no contradiction in the Quran. So Sam is bringing a contradiction. Who exactly was Allah speaking to? Was Allah speaking to himself? No, there is no possibility that is what Allah was doing. So who was it Allah was talking about? If Allah was not talking to himself, who was it? Now, let's go on.
To him, which is me, who carried his servant by night, which is my servant, from the inviolable mosque to the farthest mosque, whose precincts we blessed, so we might show him.
I'll admit, this verse doesn't explain the locations.
No, but that's even more than that. What I'm asking is, why can't Allah simply
reading that to you? You tried to get me busted with that. I'm saying, if you're taking this verse in isolation of itself,
even in the context of the Quran, you're not going to be able to figure out, because there's nothing in the Quran and other verses that tell you what this means.
I have to investigate that.
Keep investigating. But don't forget 2 points. This is the same Quran that told you it is a book that explains all things and is perfectly clear and perfectly clearly explains its verses. Yet it doesn't. But here's the point I want you to focus on, so we can go to another example. Allah is speaking. Allah is saying to himself, glory be to him, which is actually me, who carried his servant by night, which is my servant, from the inviolable mosque to the farthest mosque. And now notice Allah says, whose precincts we blessed. Now, but pay attention to this part. So that we might show him our signs, ayat, right?
All right, guys. So you hear the argument? now the claim there is that Allah has said something, and the Quran has spoken about itself already, that it doesn't contradict itself. It explains every verse it talks about. Anything that it speaks of, it actually goes further to explain it. But now, as we can see here, what Sam Shamoun has drawn out, it's not actually the case. Because this verse, according to what he just said, there is no verse in the Quran that you actually find out. There is no place you can find out in the Quran that can give you an accurate explanation of what this verse means. So, what exactly is it? Because now Allah is talking to someone. And we know very well, according to how the conversation goes, that person must be deity, must be someone who is other than Allah, one. And secondly, it must be a person of equal standing with Allah. Because Allah cannot speak, a God cannot speak to a mere mortal that way. So Allah is talking to someone. He's talking to someone, but that person is not a mortal. Now, is Allah actually saying there's another God apart from himself? Because now this is the claim Islam makes or the Quran makes. Allah is alone. He is the only God. Now remember that we Christians, we talk about the Trinity. God is one, but then this same God has three personalities. He reveals himself in three forms. And now he has done this by revealing himself on earth through the body of a man called Jesus Christ. He made himself, he prepared a body for himself and became a man called Jesus Christ upon the face of this earth. We believe that, and we believe that Jesus Christ had come upon this earth and he was God in human flesh. He gave away everything. He left off everything as God, and he came into this earth to become a servant. He took up the being of a servant and became this is God. So now we believe that there is God. Yes, we believe in God, but we also believe that he became a man upon the face of this earth, and the Father, who is God, communicated with him while he was here upon the earth. So, but the Quran argues and denies that claim. The Quran argues that claim. The Quran says, no, Allah is not a man. Allah does not have a wife that he should have a child. And so that son we're talking about is not the son of God. That person we are referring to as the son of God is just a prophet. But now here in the Quran that speaks about the oneness of Allah, here comes Allah speaking to another being with equal standing as himself. Because if that is not one deity speaking to another deity, what is it? All right, but this will get more interesting. Please watch on.
Yeah, but my point is the he is the him. We might show him. You keep forgetting that our signs. If that's Allah, why would Allah need Allah to show him miracles? Allah showing himself miracles?
You know what? Hold on.
Yeah, exactly. Hold on. But if it's Muhammad, then
so let me see if I understand what you're saying.
yeah.
What I gather from what you're saying is that it says so that we, that being Allah, referring to himself,
we show
him our signs. And the claim is indeed he alone is all seeing, all hearing, all seeing.
And who's the
but
he?
You're saying why would Allah, after just saying we, say he?
No, it's more than that. Allah says we showed him our signs, and then speaking of him, he says he, the him that we showed our signs to, he is the all-seeing, the all-knowing. Who's the he and the him?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
If they want, that's the point I'm getting at.
Okay, so who's the he and the him? And if you say Muhammad, it's even worse. Because if it's Muhammad, we showed him Muhammad.
We may show him our signs. And Allah is showing the prophet.
Oh, but then you just destroyed it.
Our signs.
Okay, but then finish it. The he is the seer and the knower.
He is the all-hearing, all-seeing.
That's Muhammad. You just said it's Muhammad. The him and the he don't change. It's the same one.
Yeah, you hear that? So the shape is now coming out even more better. Because this brother is suggesting that that person being spoken to, now I believe he's also lost. He doesn't really know how to answer this because it's a problem for him to answer. But now he musters out courage and he says the person Allah was speaking to was the Prophet Muhammad. But now Sam goes again. The Prophet Muhammad. So now, if you are suggesting that that person being spoken to, who Allah spoke to, or who Allah gave his word to, is Muhammad, then you are making Muhammad God, in contrast to what the Quran has stated about Muhammad. Because the Quran never mentioned anywhere that Muhammad is God. Muhammad is only a servant of Allah. Muhammad is just a prophet. Muhammad is nothing near Allah. All right? So he's just a slave of Allah. But now Allah speaks to someone who is of equal standing with him, someone who is also a God, because now he goes further to say he is the seer and the knower. Two things: seer, knower. Seer means omnipotent, omnipresent, and knower means he knows everything. So he knows everything and he sees everything, meaning that person is someone who has the attributes only Allah can have. Who is the one who has all the power, who knows everything? Allah, according to the Quran. Who is the person who hears everything, who knows everything, who sees everything? It's Allah. That's according to the Quran. But who then is this Quran speaking about? Who is that person? Now you see it. You see where that contradiction is? Islam keeps denying Jesus Christ, trying to twist words together, twisting words together so that the light won't come out. But as they keep doing this, the light just keeps trying to shoot out its head so that we can see it. But you see, this is how it is. Because now you explain this verse. Any right-thinking person should explain this verse, and you would see, because there would be nothing to explain. There'll be nothing to explain because this person being spoken about is deity, and the Quran talks about just one person who is deity, which is Allah, and Allah is not a human being. And so among all of the prophets of Islam, no one ever came who Allah could refer to as deity. So who is this person?